Hello people, today we are going to start with control risk processes under monitoring and controlling process group. Control risk is the process of implementing risk response plan, tracking identified risk, monitoring residual risk, identifying new risk, and evaluating risk process effectiveness throughout the project. The key benefit of this process is that it improves efficiency of the risk approach throughout the project life cycle to continuously optimize risk responses. So let's learn about the ETOs, that is inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. First input is project management plan, then risk register, work performance data, and work performance report. The tools and techniques are risk assessment, risk audits, variance trend analysis, technical performance measurement, reserve analysis, and meetings. The outputs are work performance information, change request, PM plan updates, project document updates, and OPAs. The first input is project management plan. Project management plan, which includes the risk management plan, provides guidance for risk monitoring and controlling. The next input is risk register. Risk register has key inputs that include identified risk, risk owners, agreed upon risk responses, control actions for assessing the effectiveness of response plans, risk responses, specific implementation actions, symptoms, and warning signs of risk residual and secondary risk. Watch list of low priority risk at the time of cost contingency reserves. The watch list is within the risk register and provides a list of low priority risk. The next input is WPD. WPD related to various performance results possibly impacted by risk include deliverable status, schedule progress, and cost incurred. Work performance report. Work performance reports take information from performance measurements and analyze it to provide project work performance information, including variance analysis, earned value data, and forecasting data. These data points could be impactful in controlling performance related risk. Let's learn about the tool and technique. The first technique is risk assessment. Control risk often results in identification of new risks, a reassessment of current risks, and closing of risks that are outdated. Project risk assessment should be regularly scheduled. The amount and detail of repetition that are appropriate depends on how the project progresses relative to its objective. The next technique is risk audits. Audits examine and document the effectiveness of risk responses in dealing with identified risk and their root causes, as well as effectiveness of risk management process. The project manager is responsible for ensuring that risk audits are performed at an appropriate frequency as defined in the project's risk management plan. Risk audit may be included during the routine project review meetings, or the team may choose to hold separate risk audit meetings. The format for the audit and its objective should be clearly defined before the audit is conducted. The next technique is variance and trend analysis. Many control processes employ variance analysis to compare the planned result to the actual results. For the purposes of controlling risk, trend in the project execution should be reviewed using performance information. On-value analysis and other methods of project variance and trend analysis may be used for monitoring overall project performance. Outcomes from these analyses may forecast potential deviation of the project at completion from cost and schedule targets. Deviation from the baseline plan may include the potential impact of threats or opportunities. The next technique is technical performance measurement. Technical performance measurement compares a technical accomplishment during project execution of the schedule of technical achievement. It requires definition of objective, quantifiable measures of technical performance which can be used to compare actual results against targets. Such technical performance measures may include weight, transaction times, number of delivered defects, storage capacity, etc. Deviations such as demonstrating more or less functionality than planned at milestone can help to forecast the degree of success in achieving the project scope. The next technique is reserve analysis. Throughout execution of the project, some risk may occur with positive or negative impacts on budget or schedule contingency reserve. Reserve analysis compares the amount of contingency reserves remaining to the amount of risk remaining at any time in the project in order to determine if the remaining reserve is adequate. Then next technique is meetings. Project risk management should be an agenda item at periodic status meeting. The amount of time required for that item will vary depending upon the risks that have been identified, their priority, and difficulty of response. The more often risk management is practiced, the easier it becomes. Frequent discussion about risk make it more likely that people will identify risk and opportunities. Next is the outputs. The first output is WPI, that is work performance information, as a controlled risk output, provides a mechanism to communicate and support project decision making. Next is change request. Implementing contingency plans or workarounds sometimes results in a change request. Change requests are prepared and submitted to the perform integrated change control process. Change request can include recommended corrective and preventive actions. Under recommended corrective actions, these activities that align the performance of the project work with the project management plan. They include contingency plan and workarounds. The latter are the responses that were not initially planned but are required to deal with emerging risks that were previously unidentified or accepted passively. Recommended preventive action. These activities that ensure that the future performance of the project work is aligned with the project management plan. Next output is PM plan updates. If approved change requests have an effective effect on risk management processes, the corresponding component documents of the PM plan are revised and reissued to reflect the approved changes. The elements of the PM plan that may be updated are the same as those in the planned risk response process. Next output is project document update. Project document that may be updated as a result of controlled risk process include outcome of risk as reassessment, risk audit, and periodic risk review. These outcomes may include identification of new risks, updates to probability, impact, priority, response plan, ownership, and other elements of the risk register. Outcomes can also include closing risks that are no longer applicable and releasing their associated reserves. Actual outcome of the project risk and of the risk responses. This information can help project managers to plan for risk throughout the organization as well as on the future projects. The next output is OPA updates. The risk management processes produce information that may be used for future projects and should be captured in the organizational process asset. The organizational process assets that may be updated include but are not limited to templates for the risk management plan, including probability and impact matrix and risk register, risk breakdown structure, and lesson learned from the project risk management activities. These documents should be updated as needed, and at project closure, final version of the risk register and risk management plan templates, checklist, and risk breakdown structure are included. So guys, I hope you got some idea on the control risk processes. To subscribe to my channel or come back to my channel for more videos on PMP and other things. Thank you so much for watching. See you soon.